Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Chris Guyette of Full Court Press Basketball Debate, here with your daily dish. This is a new segment of Full Court Press. I'm not with Yvonne today, and for most of these, I won't be with Yvonne. This will be just me talking. The daily dish is going to be a rundown of the previous night's games and what I saw, and my take on the games of that night. So, without further ado, the daily dish let's start with last night's games, which was the 30th. By the way, happy Halloween, everyone. We start with the Washington Wizards going to Orlando to face off with the Magic. It was a very entertaining game throughout. Nikola Vucevic was great again, 23 points and 12 rebounds. But really, the guy that took over this game was John Wall for Washington, a guy that I'm very, very high on. John Wall had 30 points and 12 dimes. He really took this game over. Despite a near comeback by Orlando in that fourth quarter, they outscored Washington, actually, 32-23 in that fourth quarter. Washington did win 105-91. Marcin Gortat in this game also had 12 rebounds. And again, the rookie for Orlando, Elfrid Payton, very impressive. But congrats to Washington on their first win of the year. There were only 5 games last night. The second one, the Detroit Pistons, who were 0-1, visited the Minnesota Timberwolves, who were also 0-1 at the time. Detroit's new weapons really showed up in this game in the form of Caron Butler. 24 points for Butler. He was a big free agent signing for Detroit in the offseason. And this game was another one that was very, very close throughout. It was just a 1-point game at halftime, but Minnesota in the second half, especially in that third quarter, really took over the game. Thaddeus Young. I keep talking about Thaddeus Young in our debates with Yvonne and I. You hear me talk about Thaddeus Young almost every debate. He fits in so well with this Minnesota offense. He's the number one scoring option, despite what you might hear about Andrew Wiggins and Nikola Pekovic. Thaddeus Young is the number one option. He scored 26 in the opener, and last night he had 19. And that propelled Minnesota to their first win of the season. They don't look like Kevin Love is hurting them too bad. It's 97-91. Detroit drops to 0-2. Speaking of Kevin Love, it was LeBron James' return to Cleveland last night. They held a lead throughout the first half, and they were leading at halftime. And then the second half was just completely different. Carmelo Anthony scores 25, and the Knicks spoil LeBron James' return to Cleveland. They win 95-90. What did I see in this game? Well, I saw Carmelo Anthony completely take over the second half. He only had 8 points at halftime. He had 17 in the second half. He completely took over this game. I saw the triangle offense, especially in that third and fourth quarter, perfected by the Knicks. It looks like it's working. And LeBron, 17 points and a career high 8 turnovers. Look, I've been saying it all along. You hear in Full Court Press. I keep saying it. This Cleveland team is going to struggle. They don't know quite where they fit in together yet. They have a first-year head coach. None of these guys have ever played on the same team with each other, except LeBron and Anderson Varejao. Excuse me. They're going to struggle. That's why I'm picking Chicago to win the East. LeBron and the Cavs are going to struggle. They tried to do way too much last night against a very talented Knicks team, and it ended up costing them the game. The Knicks win it 95-90. The next game on tap was the Utah Jazz visiting the Dallas Mavericks. And really, this was Dallas from the opening quarter. Derek Favors had a good game, 17 points, 11 rebounds. But Dirk Nowitzki and Chandler Parsons both scored 21. And Dallas After coming close to beating San Antonio on opening night on the road, losing by 1 point, they win this by 18. I projected them to win by 15 or more. They won by 18. And this is the 20th win for Dallas in the past 22 meetings against Utah. It's 120 to 102 Dallas. And lastly, the Oklahoma City Thunder visited the Los Angeles Clippers. And as if the news couldn't get any worse for Oklahoma City fans, it does. Russell Westbrook leaves this game with a fracture in his right hand. Yes, that's the truth. Perry Jones was very impressive in this game, 32 points. But the Clippers were just a bit too much. Serge Ibaka misses the potential tying three-pointer at the buzzer. And the Clippers win it 93-90. I'm very concerned about Oklahoma City. The only good thing about Oklahoma City right now is that they have an easier schedule coming up. They don't play the West too much. So hopefully Westbrook can get back as soon as he can and help them out a little bit because they are in trouble. The final score, 93-90, Clippers. On to tonight's games. We have some good games on tap tonight. We only have 6 of them, which is weird for a Friday night. But here you go. The first game on tap, the Memphis Grizzlies at 1-0 visit the Indiana Pacers, who are also 1-0. Couple of things to look out for in this game. In their opener, Indiana against Philadelphia had a very balanced attack. There was no one guy that really dominated the floor. Stuckey scored 16, Miles scored 15, but Roy Hibbert scored 22. Roy Hibbert was Roy Hibbert again. So that's good news for Indiana. Memphis is favored by 7 in this game, and I think that's pretty fair to say. I mean, you're on the road. It's going to be a tough game. I mean, Indiana is, despite what people might think, yes, Paul George is missing. Yes, George Hill, David West, they're not in the lineup once again. But they're going to make it a game. But I just think the two bigs for the Grizzlies, who have been so good for so many years, Gasol and Randolph, they combined for 57 points in the opener. So I look for Memphis' bigs to dominate tonight. And Memphis wins this by about 9. The next game on tap is the big one of the night. Cleveland at Chicago. Pretty much the two best teams in the East to start the season. Look, Cleveland played the Knicks last night. They travel to Chicago. And Chicago beat the Knicks. So that tells me right there, advantage Chicago. Chicago has already done what Cleveland couldn't do. So Chicago's favored by 4 in this game. This is the first game of the ESPN doubleheader tonight. Look, Chicago's going to dominate this game. Cleveland is so confused as to what they're trying to do. The momentum that they thought they had is gone, thanks to Carmelo and the Knicks. So they're entering this game in Chicago with more questions than answers. I look for Chicago to win this game by at least 8 points. The next game on tap is a game of youngins. The Philadelphia 76ers and the Milwaukee Bucks. This should be a good game. It's a game of young guys, young stars, up and coming. It's going to give us a good chance to look and see what the future of the NBA holds. Jabari Parker was not very impressive in his rookie debut at Milwaukee, only scoring 8 points. I look for that to improve tonight. He's going to take Nerlens Noel on that perimeter, and I don't think Noel has the skill yet to stay with a guy like Jabari Parker. The line for this game is Milwaukee by 9. I'm not putting the spread that high. I like Milwaukee to win this game, but I'm going to say by about 6. The next game on tap is a very good one. The San Antonio Spurs at the Phoenix Suns. Look, guys, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a fantastic game. If you can watch this game, if you have NBA League Pass, please tune in to this game. This is going to be an exciting game of great backcourts, Tony Parker and Danny Green. Kawhi Leonard will be back for this game, so that brings San Antonio an edge right there on the defensive side of the ball. My question is, can San Antonio stop that trio in the backcourt of Goran Dragic, Isaiah Thomas, and Eric Bledsoe? I don't know, but I have faith because Leonard's back. It's going to give them an edge defensively. The margin here is San Antonio by 1.5. It's going to be close. I'm taking San Antonio by 4. The next game, Portland at Sacramento. Portland's coming off of that hard-fought win against Oklahoma City, where they had to really come through in the fourth quarter. And Sacramento is coming off of a big loss to Golden State in Steve Kerr's coaching debut. By the way, congratulations to Steve Kerr and the Warriors on that win. Look, I don't think there's much to say here. I think Portland's team, LaMarcus Aldridge is just unstoppable. You can't stop him. And I expect Damian Lillard to have a much better game than he did against Oklahoma City because he's got Darren Collison guarding him, and Collison is somewhat of a liability on the defensive side of the ball, although he did show some good signs in the opener against Golden State, scoring 13 and dishing out 7. But the line here is Portland by 5.5. I like Portland by about 13 to 14 points here. I don't think Sacramento is just quite there yet. I expect a good game out of DeMarcus Cousins. I expect a good game out of Rudy Gay as well. But Portland's just too good right now. Portland is just too good right now. And we close the night with the Battle of Los Angeles 2014 Part 1. The Los Angeles Clippers and the Los Angeles Lakers. Look, the Lakers are stumbling right now. The Lakers are stumbling. It looks like they don't have it together. The Clippers are coming off of the momentum-building win last night. And that's why I'm picking the upset. The Lakers are underdogs by 12 points. And I see why. Jeremy Lin has been very unaggressive. Carlos Boozer, same thing. Wesley Johnson, same thing. It has had to be Kobe. But I look for the Lakers to get it together tonight. I really do. This is a big-time game. This is a rivalry game. I look for the Lakers to win this game. It's going to be a close one, but I look for Kobe to take over this game. I look for a more aggressive Jeremy Lin simply because he has to be against Chris Paul. The Lakers win this game by about 3 to 5 points. That concludes this version of Full Court Press, The Daily Dish. The next time you will hear from me will be tomorrow to discuss tonight's games and to get my predictions on tomorrow night's games. Again, it will probably be just me, so be looking out for that. Thank you for tuning in for this version of Full Court Press, The Daily Dish. I'm Chris Guyette, signing off. Thanks, guys.